Well, Dave, congratulations. Another massive 3 points this afternoon. And in a funny way, did the red card help you in the end? It seemed to galvanise the crowd.
Yeah, I don't galvanise the crowd, galvanise the team. I've just spoken there. We've got to, I suppose, accept that we've got to the position we're in by being all in and being totally committed. And it shouldn't take a sending off and us playing with 10 men to have to play at that intensity. We should play that intensity with 11. If we're going to not achieve anything this year, then we've got to be full throttle every day until we cross that line. And we weren't at that in the first half. And there's no excuse for that, because it solely comes down to an attitude thing, because the same players did it on Tuesday and produced physical stats that were unbelievable. We played an amazing intensity, so it's not that they can't do it. It was, and maybe we have to look at it and go, it was probably a big ask in terms of getting home at 5 o'clock on Wednesday morning, and how that turns into this game. We may need to look at that, but they then produced, with 10 men at the back end, a performance that has got us on the front foot, and we've looked a huge threat with 10. Granted, Hogan probably changed their approach to it and think they can maybe win the game with 11 against 10, which gives us a little bit more scope and a little bit more opportunity, and they've put more bodies forward. We've picked them off and, like I say, got some really good situations. Fundamentally, we've scored from another set piece, which is massively pleasing, and it feels like a big 3 points.
You must be massively pleased with your own contribution in terms of the substitutions as well. All three made an impact today, from Mark Kitchen at the back to Newby and Crankshaw as well.
So you have a choice at them junctions, if you like,
Yeah.
Whether you think a point's a good point. To be honest, I'd said to the players at half time, without giving too much detail away, that I'd give them 10 minutes. They've earned a little bit of leeway from us, but if it didn't improve in 10 minutes, then I would make at least 2-3 changes. So whether that would have changed shape or whatever it might be, that then becomes forced on us. So you have a decision to make as to whether a point becomes a good point, or whether really a bit of jeopardy and go, well, 3 or none, and go and be positive. You're always going to play more or a little bit more on the counter attack with 10, and you want to try and get people on the pitch who are ball carriers, and we did that with Noobs and Ollie. Took them a little bit of time to get into it, but once that happened, then looked a real threat, carried the ball, gave us opportunities to get up the pitch, and produced moments when on another day we probably should have scored more than what we did, but we need to see that with 11.
In terms of the red card, the sending off for Liam Hogan today, I think you were the calmest man in the park, because you didn't actually move. You stood there and watched everything. So what did you see?
Not a great deal, if I'm honest. Listen, no. I mean, when I mean not a great deal, it's your typical handbags. There's in my eye, there's nothing gone on. I think it's an incredulous decision that there's a red card from that. Listen, Will shouldn't push the lad, which it all then kicks off. It couldn't happen in a worse place, because you buy a bench where everyone then thinks they want to get involved. Yeah. We've tried to speak to the referee, because I think the fourth official's seen something or made the decision, but they've gone. So I don't know whether they've jumped out the window but they're not here. They've got off pretty sharpish. So until we get a report on Monday, Tuesday, whenever it will be, then it's difficult to comment. From what I've seen, and the difficulty will be getting video evidence that, I suppose, the FA or the powers that be, whoever it might be, don't see it as a significant mistake. That, for me, there's nothing in it. There's absolutely nothing in it. But what can you do? You have to move on. If something has gone on, then ultimately Hogs will suffer. He'll be punished, and he'll be punished through losing his place in the team. He'll suffer through whatever discipline the club decides to sort of put on him. The positive thing, or the only positive thing to come out of it, is that the players have pulled him out the doo-doo in a little bit in terms of their performance with 10, and ultimately doesn't derail us, and we don't go away with 1 point or no points. We go on and get, like I say, we've got to make a big 3 points for us.
you've had such a hectic period recently. You're glad you've got a blank week now before the next home game.
Yeah, it gives us a bit of time. So players will be off Monday, and they've deserved that.
Yeah.
They need to, like I say, spend some time at home. Mentally, we're gonna, as well as physically, mentally, we're gonna challenge them in terms of how we go about things, the intensity we train at, and what we want from them. So a little bit of downtime will be great for them, but we'll be back at it Tuesday, and we'll make up for what we've missed out on Monday, and look to put a plan in place for producing a performance here that can get us 3 points against Weymouth.
And it's a big 3 points because you've actually extended your lead now at the top of the table, although I know you've still got an eye on the likes of Boreham Wood with games in hand.
Yeah, as I've said, I don't say it for repetitive or for the sake of saying it. For us, there'll be a certain amount of points needed to, or a certain amount of wins we need to ultimately be successful, whether that's to get promoted, or whether that's to be in the playoffs, and certainly how high up in the playoffs you might finish. So that's another one for us ticked off. It's now important that Weymouth is the next opportunity for us to tick another off. The more wins we get, the closer we come to our objective. Again, our objective will remain the same, which is to win every game. But you can't do that until you win the next one. So the next one is next Saturday, another opportunity to come here, hopefully support us again, increase that that belief and that sort of spirit that we've got going, and we can get another 3 points and take us another step closer.
Well done today. Enjoy your evening. Thanks.
Cheers. Thank you.